How can we train ourselves to consume in moderation? Welcome to Mindfulness for Beginners. Hello my friend, hope you're happy, hope you're peaceful. It's your old pal Sean, and thanks to everyone who's supporting the podcast on Patreon, including Anne, Peter, Harrison, and Donovan Woodworking, who joined this week. You get access to exclusive bonus episodes, guided meditations, and please do check out the Facebook group. There's a weekly thread each week asking for your ideas. So if you'd like me to do an episode on something important to you, please do let me know. The links to all and more are in the description. I was very surprised to learn recently that Indian food is something that is only recently starting to become mainstream in the United States. It's not something that's been a traditional part of the American melting pot of cuisine. In the UK, Indian food is something of a religion. You can't walk down the street of any town without smelling the sweet scent of a Rogan Josh or a Vindaloo. I live in the northwest of England, and Manchester has a tourist attraction called the Curry Mile, which is a section of the Wilmslow Road that has a litany of award-winning South Asian restaurants. One of Britain's national dishes is chicken tikka masala, my favourite takeaway before I went vegetarian, and it was created in Glasgow, Scotland, as the story goes, when a disgruntled customer sent back spiced chicken tikka, saying it was too dry. The restaurant owner, wisely deciding not to argue with a Glaswegian on a night out, decided to improvise a sauce with tomatoes, cream and spices. So, one of the greatest foods ever created was born, and Brits have been clogging their arteries with it ever since. If you haven't tried it, I would encourage you to do so. It is the food of the gods. I've been getting into batch cooking recently and decided that there was no reason that old Shawnee D, with his 2 arms and mostly functioning brain, couldn't achieve the same outcome as a highly trained chef. What could possibly go wrong? So I assembled the necessary ingredients and decided to have an attempt at tikka masala. Chicken was out because I'm a vegetarian now, but I had roasted cauliflower, peppers and corn pieces. If corn isn't popular where you are, it's basically a meat substitute made from mushrooms. It's better than it sounds. I threw everything into the pot as per the instructions and had a taste of the final product. It was a lot hotter than I was expecting. In fact, just that small amount was burning the eyes out of my head. It was so hot that my ancestors were sweating. It was so spicy, I was unlocking a whole new plane of consciousness. What in the name of God had gone wrong? I'd actually used less than the recommended dose of chili powder so it wouldn't be too spicy. I went back to the recipe and went through it. Garlic, garam masala, turmeric, 3 spoonfuls of chopped ginger, salt. Wait a second, 3 spoonfuls of chopped ginger. I had added 3 spoonfuls of ground ginger, and in doing so had created the gingeriest dish ever created by man. I took a step back and sighed. I hated wasting food, so I added another couple of tins of tomatoes to try and reduce the ginger to sauce ratio. I let it cook for a while and served it up with some basmati rice, a papadum and mango chutney, the traditional accompaniment. I took a couple of bites and I was quickly sweating profusely, but I refused to let my own lack of culinary ability beat me. As I ate more and got used to the psychedelic visions that the ginger spice melange was opening up inside of me, the spice must flow, I found that the meal wasn't quite as bad as I first feared. As I wiped the remains of the meal from my burning lips, I decided that I wasn't going to throw away the massive vat of curry I'd made, and I would freeze it for further use. After getting that sorted out, I had a very difficult night in the toilet. If any of my friends or family are listening to this, please do come round for a dinner party I love to host. That evening, I was acutely aware of the impact that my cooking was having on me, even as I was eating it. And the effect was obvious because of the critical errors I made during preparation. But whether what we consume is fundamentally inedible or not, it has an effect on us, and some of that effect is positive, some of that effect is negative. We consume alcohol to unfasten our social seatbelt and have a good time, but we wake up the next morning and wished we'd stayed in with a book instead. We enjoy a horror movie because it thrills us. Then when we're trying to sleep, a bird taps on the window and we're holding the lamp to use as a blunt instrument. A milkshake feels good while I'm drinking it, but now most of my shirts don't button up. Consumption always has a mix of impacts, but most of the time we're not aware of them as we consume, not even the positive impacts. I'm as guilty as anyone of snacking in front of the TV. I'm barely aware of the pleasure that I'm getting from what I'm eating because my awareness is focused on the dinner party episode of The Office. Snip snap. But what we choose to do instead is to focus 100% of our awareness on what we're consuming with the intention of monitoring the effect that it has on us. So for example, with my altered consciousness ginger curry, my gastrointestinal tract was wriggling inside me like a sack of snakes. But to give a less disturbing example, imagine you were eating a piece of chocolate. In fact, you might pause this and go and get some chocolate to eat now while you're listening. You can look at the chocolate in your hand and see its colour, its shape, its size, the weight in your hand. Take some time to enjoy how it looks. And not too long, of course, or you'll just end up with a chocolatey hand. Next, I would invite you to smell it and notice everything that you can sense. Might be the cocoa or the sweetness. Maybe it stimulates a memory in you. And then put a piece in your mouth and let it sit on your tongue. Notice the reaction your body and your mind has. It might be the impulse to eat it quickly. It could be salivation. And as it melts, become aware of the texture of the chocolate, the taste of the chocolate. Really taking everything you can from the experience. Then becoming aware and grateful for all that went into the creation of the chocolate, the sunshine, the rain, the earth, the labour of the farmers, the milk that came from the cows, the factory where it was made, the people that drove it to the supermarket, and the workers at the supermarket. All of that came together for this moment to be possible. And finally, as we swallow the chocolate, being aware of the effect that it has on us, the feeling of pleasure, the energy it gives us, the nutrients it provides, like iron and magnesium. Knowing that this small amount is helping us, but a large amount will have a detrimental effect in our body. And the point of consuming in this way is not to make ourselves feel good or bad. It's simply to be in union with the reality of where our consumption comes from and the effect it has on the world and the effect it has on us. I became a vegetarian from consuming in this way. Initially, I was annoyed that when I tried to enjoy a takeaway, I thought of the animal and what had to happen to it in order for me to consume. But it ultimately led me to a choice that I'm happier with and is better for the world. And the same applies to everything we consume, whether it's media, alcohol, or conversations. If we consume with mindfulness, it leads to better choices, both for ourselves and for the world. It leads us to moderation without even trying. No finger wagging or slap wrists required. The funny thing is, when I froze that ginger curry in a few portions and reheated it again days later in the microwave, what I found was that some of the ginger broke down, and I really started to enjoy the abomination that I'd made. It had become sweet, much less hot, and more gentle on my bum. So let go of your expectations and assumptions on your consumption. Approach it with your beginner's mind. Switch the TV off and try giving it your full attention, and your focused awareness will do the rest. So dear friends, let's sit together for a few minutes with a guided meditation around our consumption. I'm going to start with 3 sounds of the bell and the usual settling in introduction. As always, we're going to start by applying our beginner's mind to our posture. So I would invite you to imagine that you have a thread attached to the crown of your head, and it's gently pulling you upwards into an upright position, up onto your sitting bones, your spine like a stack of coins, your heart raised upwards and outwards, your hands comfortably in your lap. Just allowing a gentle smile to emerge in your face as we take a moment to enjoy the stability of our posture. And expanding our beginner's mind to encompass your entire body, noticing where you feel warm or cold, noticing where you feel tense or relaxed. Becoming aware of the sensation of the clothes against your skin and the points of contact between your body and the chair and the floor. And shifting your awareness to your thoughts and feelings. And as we go through the guided meditation, just noticing each thought as it arises, and that might be an anxious thought about tomorrow. It could be a happy thought about today, or a regretful thought about yesterday. Just sitting with each thought for a moment, allowing it to leave, and gently, without judgment, bringing your attention back to your breath. And finally, focusing your beginner's mind on the breath, noticing that column of air between your nose and your diaphragm. Noticing how the air feels cooler on the way in. Warmer on the way out. Breathing in. I know I am breathing in. Breathing out. I know I am breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, my breath grows deep. Breathing out, my breath goes slow. Deep, slow. Breathing in, I am aware of the food I eat every day. Breathing out, I set the intention to consume mindfully. Aware of food, consuming mindfully. Breathing in, I'm aware of the alcohol and drugs I consume. Breathing out, I set the intention to consume mindfully. Aware of alcohol and drugs, consuming mindfully. Breathing in, I am aware of the media I consume every day. Breathing out, I set the intention to consume mindfully. Aware of media, consuming mindfully. Breathing in, I am aware of the conversations I consume every day. Breathing out, I set the intention to consume mindfully. Aware of conversations, consuming mindfully. Breathing in, I establish myself in the present moment. Breathing out, I realize it is a wonderful moment. present moment, wonderful moment. And as we reach the end of the guided meditation, just taking a moment or two to notice any changes in your body, any areas of relaxation, any areas of tension. Might be your back, could be your legs. Just taking a moment to stretch those if you need to. Noticing any changes in your mind. And if you feel a sense of calm or peace, then I would invite you to carry that through the rest of your day. And finally, opening your eyes and returning your awareness to the room that you're in. And your mindfulness homework for this week is I'd invite you to either take a piece of chocolate or maybe the first few bites of a meal and experiment with eating it in full awareness. So awareness of the origins of the food, awareness of the taste and the look and the texture of the food, and of course the awareness of the impact that it has on you. And why not share what you find in the Facebook group? We have a feedback thread each week, and I'd be really interested to find out about how that's gone for you. And may you be happy, may you be peaceful, and may you see yourself through the eyes of understanding and compassion. Slán will you, and I'll see you next time.
Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I